Hey, what's up? This is Scott with Level Up Tuts, and today I'm going to show you how to start modifying your Android application with Java itself. So in the last lesson we learned a little bit about strings, and then before that we learned about this activity main XML file and how that's generating this file here that we made to say hello Level Up Tuts. We ran this in our emulator and it looked just like this and had a button you could press. So make sure you have your emulator open. You can see I have mine. Otherwise it might take a little while to boot up. So make sure that's up and running just so you can get through this nice and fast. And we're going to start looking at our code here. So first thing I want you to check out is we're going to be going into your project folder, and inside of the src folder, which stands for your source, you'll see this package. And this is the package name that we gave our project. I gave mine com.leveluptuts, and if we open this up, you're going to see this main activity.java. You're going to want to click on this file because this is the Java file that pertains to the XML file we were just in. So this is the main activity of our app. And as you can see, this is exactly there's one class in here called main activity. And the way Java works is that it's organized into classes. So you're going to see that each file has a class. So for the most part, you can ignore a lot of things in here because we're only going to go over what's important to us at the time. And then because there's no reason to address some of these things if you're not using them right now, it's just going to be confusing. Because as you can see, if you open this up, it may be a little bit scary and you may not know exactly what's going on, but don't worry about it. We'll go over everything and you'll be totally understanding it by the end. So main thing you're going to notice is up here we have our package name. Here we have an import line that opens up into several other import lines. We'll go over this more in a second. And here's our class. So inside of our class we have a method, and a method is a function that you can call. So in this instance we have a method here that's named onCreate, and what this void means is that it's not returning anything. So if you're used to programming, typically you'd have a function that returns something. Let's say you have a function that is your function is just adding two numbers. It'll take two arguments, you add them together, and it returns the sum of the numbers. In this case, we're not returning anything, so it has this void here. Like I said, this method's name is onCreate, and it accepts one argument. The argument is of the bundle data type, and its save instance state. And like I said, don't worry about this stuff right now. We're going to ignore these lines right here. So this set content view, what it's doing here is it's setting the content view, and you'll notice this R. And you'll see this R a lot through Android. Basically, this R stands for your resources, and this is a file that's generated by Android, or by the, and this is a file that's generated when you edit other things in your project. So if we open up this gen folder, you'll see your package, and then there's this R file. If we open this up, you'll see at the top in a code comment, auto-generated file, do not modify. This is something that gets created and you'll never have to touch this. So just go ahead and close out of that because the only time you might have to look into it is to see if something was not generated for some reason. Either way, what this is doing is saying the resource that we have that's a layout and is activity main is going to be the layout. Well, activity main.xml is the layout here that we were using before. So on create, the main activity is going to be setting our content view to this activity main XML file. So let's say we wanted to, when the app is created, we want this text right here to change. Whenever the app is created, as in when the app is first launched, this text will change. And you won't see it change, but when you load up the app, it'll just say something other than hello, Level Up Tuts. So this is our very first step into anything interactive here. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to make some space. And first thing we want to do is define a new variable. And this variable is going to be what you use to access the item on our XML file. In this case, we want to access this box right here, which, if you recall, is text view 1. It's a text view. And so we want to access that within our Java. To do that, we need to create a new variable, and it's of the data type text view. If you recall in our last video when we were talking about variables, when we want to declare a string, we started off with the word string. Here, text view is a data type just like string. However, this one's a little bit different. It's not universal to Java. This is particular to Android itself. So we're going to say text view, and then we're going to name our text view just like we named our variable in the last video. And this is going to be called text1. It can be called whatever you'd like. It's better off if this is a descriptive word, something that means something to what this text is, but this isn't really a descriptive label, so we don't have to worry about that yet. And we're going to set this equal to, and this needs to be equal to the text box in our layout. So to access that in particular, we need to use a method called find view by ID, and we're going to pass it argument that is the resource. And so the resource, if you remember from this set content view up here, is R. And if we type R, you can see Eclipse is going to give us some help. Well, we want to find it by ID, so you can highlight ID and hit enter, hit period again, and you're going to see all of the resources available. We named ours text view 1, so we're going to hit enter on text view 1. And so now, if we finish this off with semicolon, you can see that the text view, text1, is now equal to this view that we found. Okay, well, one thing you may have noticed is this text view is underlined in red. If you hover your mouse over here, you're going to get this little helper window, and it's going to say cannot be resolved to a type. That's because this text view is not a Java type. This is an Android data type specifically. So to use this data type, we need to import it. So hover over your text view here and go down where it says import text view. Give that a click, and this underline is going to go away. Let's open up our import that we have up here, and you'll now see there's an import Android widget.textView. Cool. And you'll also notice now that this is underlined as well. So this is something that's we're not going to go over right now. It just it says, do you want to add a cast to text view? We're going to click add cast to text view. I'll explain that more. However, you can see what it does here. It just adds this right here, and like I said, we'll explain this more depth later. However, we now have our variable text1, and it is our text view, and there's nothing that's underlined in red, so we're good. Now we want to set our text1 to just some dummy text. So what we can do is call our variable text1, and then we're going to run a method on text1, and it's going to be, we're going to type dot, and then we're going to say set text, and then inside of here we're going to give it some text to set. We're going to say changed. So this way we know if this is changed, and we're going to finish it off with a semicolon. Now I'm going to save the file, and I'm going to click this play button right here to run it in our emulator. So once this loads up here, you're going to see that our main text view is now going to say changed. And this says that instead of the hello level up tuts that we had there before. So you can see we are setting a new text view, and we're setting that to be the resource from our XML file. So we have our text view here named text1, and we're setting its text to change once the app is been started and it's running this onCreate method. Great. So there's a lot of mystery still, and we're going to go over a ton more, and as we go through these things and go through different exercises, all this mystery will be lifted, and you'll start to have a great understanding as to what all of this stuff means exactly. So keep on holding on, and we're going to get over some stuff to use our button in the next video. As always, this is Scott with Level Up Tuts. If you have any questions, please leave a comment in the video. Hit us up on Twitter. Let us know what you're thinking. Thanks for watching. Bye.